For these examples, we want to remember to apply BEDMAS. So we're going to work on the brackets first. So in this case here, the common denominator is going to be 10. So I need a times 2 and a times 2 up there. So I end up with 7 over 10 minus 2 over 10. So I want to complete the operation inside the brackets first. So 7 minus 2 is going to give me 5 over 10. This is plus 3 over 5. We can do the multiplication here first, or we can do the simplification first. I'm going to simplify first. 5 over 10 simplifies to 1/2. Again, notice I'm bringing down all the terms to make sure that I can keep track of everything. 3 times 1/2, times is on top, so it only goes to the numerator. We do not multiply top and bottom. Remember, times is on top. This multiplication does not go to the bottom. So once we have to this point, we get a common denominator, which is 10. So I need a times 5 here, a times 2 here. Make sure that you write in those multipliers when we're doing this. So we end up with 15 over 10 plus 6 over 10. And the final answer works out to be 21 over 10. So doing the same thing here, we want to make sure we apply the order of operations. I'm going to get a common denominator here by multiplying these fractions by 2 and 2 and 5 and 5 respectively. I get 6 over 10 plus 5 over 10. Do the brackets first. I end up with 11 over 10 squared. So now at this point I need to apply the exponent. When I apply the exponent, I'm going to square the top, so 11 squared, and I'm going to square the bottom. And once I have that, I can do times on top, combine the divides on the bottom, and I end up with 121 over 300. Now because none of these, we didn't have any common factors in this part, we know that we don't have any common factors here. For the next one here, we want to again do the brackets first, so make sure that we write down all the parts that we are not working on. I'm going to convert that into a mixed number, this mixed number here, 3 and 1/2, into an improper fraction. I'm also going to convert the 2 into an improper fraction with a denominator of 2. So I end up with 4 over 2 minus 7 over 2. I'm going to convert the multiplication into, the division into multiplication to kind of make sure that I don't forget to do that. Do the brackets first. I end up with negative 3 over 2. I have to keep track of my negatives. Okay, so but this is all times and divide here. So again, just make sure I keep track of that one. This one over here. And then I'm going to do all times on top and divide on bottom. We can simplify common factors. So we end up with negative 2. Oh, actually we don't. We can cancel these factors out as well. So everything cancels out. So we know we have a negative. But when things cancel with times and divide, we know we have to leave 1 behind. Okay, 1 is the multiplication division identity. So when times and divide cancel out, I'm left with 1. So I end up with 1 plus negative 1, and I'm going to end up with 0. Again, we want to do brackets first, get a common denominator, times 2 times 2 times 5 times 5. So 6 over 10 plus 5 over 10. We're going to do the subtraction. And we'll do the times first. So 1 times 1, 5 times 2. Okay, and then we can do the brackets. So we end up with 1/3, 11 over 10, minus 1 over 10. So do the multiplication before we do the addition subtraction. So 11 over 30. And then we have minus 1 over 10. The common denominator here is becomes 30. I'm going to times this by 15, times this by 15, times by 3, times by 3. That allows me to get a common denominator. So just make sure we keep track of this. 15 over 30 plus 11 over 30 minus 3 over 30. 15 plus 11 minus 3 is 26. That's all over 30. And checking the answer, it shares a common factor of 2. So I'm going to divide the top and bottom by 2 to simplify that fraction.